Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Such a glorious day. And I'm just so proud to be here because it looks quite different from the last time that I saw it. With all the beautiful bed and baths and restaurants and the sandy beach. But you know, 200 years ago, Sodus Point was the end of a long, dangerous journey following the drinking gourd for many who were seeking freedom. I was born in Dorchester County, Maryland, to Benjamin and Harriett Ross. I was one of 9 children. My folks named me Araminta Ross. Most folks called me Minty. But there came a time in my life where I changed my name to Harriett in honor of my mother. And then I took up my husband's name, Tubman. But you know, I grew up like a neglected weed, ignorant of liberty, having no experience of it. I was not happy nor contented. Every time I saw a white man, I was afraid of being carried away. Had 2 sisters carried away on a chain gang. One left behind 2 children. We were always uneasy. We just never knew what was going to happen. As a young child, I was hired out by my slave master as a nursemaid for this baby boy. And most nights, I had to stay up all night long to make sure that baby didn't cry and wake the mother. I never had nothing good, no sweet, no sugar. And that sugar right by me did look something good. And once while my mistress' back was turned, while she was fighting with her husband, I just took 2 fingers and put in the sugar bowl for 1 lump. And I don't know, maybe she heard me, for she turned and she saw me. And in the next minute, she had that rawhide down. I have scars I'll wear the rest of my life. Got one right here. Got this one when I refused to help an overseer who was trying to catch a slave who had went in a store without permission. And when that young man began to run again, the overseer picked up this big, heavy iron weight and he threw it at that young man. Well, it missed that young man and it hit me right there. And I tell you, I was unconscious for days. And afterwards, I suffered from dizziness and seizures and sleeping spells. But it was around 1849 when I got word that I was going to be sold in some of my friends and families. And I decided to run away. And I said to myself, there's 2 things I have a right to: liberty or death. And if I can't have one, I will have the other. For no man would take me alive. I would fight for my life so long as my strength lasted. God helping me. And so I said, farewell, old master. Don't think too hard on me. I'm going on to Canada, where all the slaves are free. And listen, when I crossed that line that I had so long been dreaming of, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. Oh, there was such a glory over everything. And the sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields. And I felt like I was in heaven. Woo! I was free. I was free. I was free. But there was no one to welcome me to the land of free. For my home, after all, was back down in Maryland where my mother and my father, my brothers and sisters were, and my friends. I was free. And they should be free. Yeah, I know. I'll build them and make them a home here and bring them here. Because they should be free. And listen, I was a conductor on that Underground Railroad for 8 long years. And I can say what most conductors can't. I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger. Yes. And it was around 1860 when I made my final trip to Maryland. After the Civil War, I took on another career. But before that, during the Civil War, I worked as a spy, I worked as a nurse, and I was the first woman to lead a military crew. And we were able to free over 700 slaves during the Combahee Ferry raid. And that was a huge accomplishment for a woman, especially a woman of color. But after the Civil War, I took on another career as a humanitarian, a community activist, a suffrage. And I was especially interested in the rights of African American women. So I set out with my friends, Susan and Katie, and we traveled, giving tours about our experience as women. And myself, my experience as being a liberator to hundreds who was under the bondage of slavery. And through all of that, the hard work, the struggles, I look out here today and I see how we have come together as a people, knowing how to live in unison and appreciate one another. And I say to my women, didn't we win a great fight for that 19th Amendment, where we now have the right to vote? And I say to each of you, as you continue to see injustices, continue to fight the good fight. Don't give up on yourselves. Because for me, the Lord who told me to take care of my people so long as my life lasted, meant for me to do just that. And so I did what he told me. And finally, I returned to my home in Auburn, New York, where I will be resting there in the near future. Thank you.